How many miles did we do in the month of January? Hey, it's good to see you again. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing the January truck update. If you are new to the channel and new to these updates, welcome. In this update, I typically go through the miles I drove in a given month, the maintenance I had to do in the truck, and any modifications that I made that was outside of the realm of regular maintenance. It is now February, and I just got back from a long trip. I had to go home, and I was working on some YouTube content, and I also hauled a camper all the way to New Hampshire from Indiana. In the month of February, I ended up driving 6,400 miles. Now, on February 2nd, I ended up driving from New England back to St. Louis on like a 2-day trip, and that was another 1,200 miles. So realistically, in the last like month, if I'm counting from where my odometer reading was to today, it's been really less than a month if I count the first few days of February, and I've driven 7,600 miles. So the truck is getting used a lot. It's hilarious because I think it always seems to run better after long trips. The motor just loves to be on the highway and driven at highway speed. And what maintenance did I do in this month? Moving on, I did an oil change around 130. It was like 129,905 or 805, somewhere around there. And then I also did all 3 fuel filters. So I did the upper, the lower, and I did the S&S disaster prevention kit filter that filters the fuel going from the engine back to the tank. Greased the front end. I now, because I have the Apex chassis steering kit, have a lot more grease fittings, so I greased that. I have greasable ball joints, so I greased those. And then obviously the U-joints on the axle shafts. I also rotated the tires. I actually ended up doing it twice because I had 2 sets of tires, so I rotated the tires before I drove back to New Hampshire earlier in the month to get the new highway tires put on. I sold the all-terrains I had, drove back with the highway tires, ended up taking a run and going to Indiana, taking a run and delivering a camper to Harrisburg, then drove back to Indiana, got a backload towards St. Louis, and then I had about 3,000 miles on the highway tires, and I just decided to rotate them before I went out and did my next trip. I also try once a month or every 5,000 to 7,000 miles to run some sort of a DPF cleaner. Now, Arch Oil has a what they call their AR6400D, which is a diesel fuel system cleaner, but it also targets the DPF. And they are a sponsor of this channel, so if you're noticing that your truck seems to be regenning a lot, buy one of those bottles, put the whole thing in your tank, and drive, and it will work wonders. If you use the code PSM10, I'll put it on the screen below, that will get you 10% off your order at archoil.com. And last but not least, modifications. I unfortunately did not do any modifications to the truck specifically. I did get some outfitting stuff for the truck so I could tow campers, so I guess that would be the closest thing to mods. I got a full width mud flap for the back bumper that hangs on there, and I can remove it super easy, so that's cool, I guess, but it's not really an engine mod or a truck mod. And then I got a Way Safe hitch, one of their weight distribution hitches that's rated for 20,000 pounds, and that is super nice because it will tell you the tongue weight on your hitch. And so I actually got their normal hitch and shank, and then the weight distribution hitch just fits over the shank that the normal hitch will run, and both have scale measures in them. So if you're interested in that, I can do a video on it. Just drop a comment and let me know, and I can talk about that hitch and what I think about it and stuff. So far it's been great. I would just say that this has been going to be my 13th update, so I did one each month last year. And I have yet to, knock on wood, have an issue that has left me stranded at the roadside. I think I potentially will this year because I'm driving a lot more miles. But from what I've seen, if you're really proactive with maintenance on these trucks, they will rarely leave you stranded. I think a lot of issues that people have are because they either don't do a deep dive into some of the issues and how to prevent them before they buy one and then run it into the ground, or they just don't do their own maintenance. Because of how complicated these trucks are, yes, because of emissions, but also, because of their high pressure fuel systems, they require a certain level of expertise and patience and knowledge. And at this point, I really don't trust anyone other than my own brother, Oliver, who is a professional mechanic, myself, or PTT with A-Rod. Like, I don't trust anyone other than Oliver, A-Rod, and myself to touch my truck. And, you know, if I get stranded somewhere, I'd probably have it towed, but I wouldn't just take it to any run-of-the-mill shop to have them wrench on it, because you just don't know with some people whether or not they know their way around a modern diesel and whether or not they know what they're doing. And so, you know, if you're thinking of buying one of these trucks, definitely prepare to do a lot of learning and understanding of what it takes to take care of them, because if you don't, you're just going to get eaten alive by repairs. So that's my little tidbit of wisdom. I hope it's helpful. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you spending your time on my channel. Please subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. I upload every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we will see you next time here on PowerStroke Maintenance. Cheers.